How do you unlearn everything you're not and relearn everything that you really are? We're going to talk about this today. This is Tom Kieran with the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Guys, I often talk about Be Something Wonderful as becoming the best version of yourself, but really it's just being who you already are. You already are that version. You already are that love, that grace. And so we could talk about becoming, but it's really just unveiling, it's allowing, it's noticing, becoming aware of who you really are. Because it's not about doing, it's not about accomplishing, it's not about attaining anything, it's about being. Be something wonderful, be that wonder that you are. So we're going to talk about this today. So how do we do it? How do we unlearn all of this egoic, that stuff that we get from our ego, the negativity, the fear, the doubt, all this stuff that's unreal that we invent, the struggle, the strife, the regrets, the guilt, the shame, whatever it is. Guys, if it doesn't feel good, you got to move past it, because it's never justified to not feel good. I don't care what happens in the world. It's never good, right? You want to feel good. You want to, and it's not forced. It's knowing that deep. It's knowing that who you really are is perfect. Who you really are is that love, is that awareness. You can't be hurt. You can't suffer. Nothing can happen to you, that immortal you, that infinite you. Right? So let's talk about this a little bit today. Joe Dispenza wrote a book. I've talked about this before. It's based on quantum physics. It's based on brain science. He's a real brilliant spiritual teacher, and he's a doctor. His name's Dr. Joe Dispenza, and he wrote Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. And I've talked about it before in other videos. I'll touch on it today. But basically, he's saying that we've memorized things from the past. We're living in the past. This is what happens. Whenever you react to something, whenever you respond in a negative way, you are remembering and now that emotion is in your body, right? It's not just a thought may come up that may trigger it, but it's already stuck. These emotions are stuck in your body, and that event triggers it. So you're living in the past. If you live in the future without fear, right? Not living in the future you, who you want to be, the ideal you, this is where you want to be, right? In the present, but becoming the ideal you, right? Everything is now. And so I want to talk about this today. Living in the past makes you stuck, right? These are the things you're not. You're not fear. You're not weak. You're not unworthy, and you're not limited. These are the things that we get stuck on, that are part of this emotional baggage, right? That we've got to. Now, don't ignore it when you're feeling like that, but a key is to bring it up to your awareness. Once you bring it up to your awareness, it can't hurt you. Once you expose the ego, it goes away because it's not real anyway. So once you ask that question, who am I? That ego will go running. I'm telling you guys. Once you don't give it, you don't keep feeding the ego more negativity. You don't keep buying into what the ego's saying. All of your thoughts, none of them are real. They're all imagined, right? And you can't even control them. They're just coming in, right? They're not even originally yours, right? They're out there in the ether. So what are you? Well, you're grace. You're love. You're whole and you're unlimited. I think this is a good starting point. You've got to believe this. And Joe Dispenza's got some great meditations and other things in this book that we could talk about at another time. But this is. You got to believe in this, that you are eternal, that you're not your body, you're not these physical things, you're not even your personality, right? Your personality has gotten shaped in those first formative years, right? And it contains a lot of that negative stuff. Even the positive stuff can have a negative connotation, like, oh, you're very successful, you earned it, right? this whole thing about making it now you've got to keep that up. Now you've got to now you've got to know that you got to earn things, right? All of this is false. You're perfect as you are. If I could only get that to you, there's nothing you need to improve. There's nothing you need to perfect. It's already there. You have just got to open the door and let it out, right? It's there. So a couple things that I wanted to talk about. Don't react. This is a way to start retraining. You know, in the neuroscience area, they talk about the cells that fire together, wire together. This is the idea that you can create, with this idea of neuroplasticity, you can create new neural pathways by basically unfiring those pathways and then rewiring them to your new behaviors, right? But guys, it's not that technical. You don't even have to understand all of that. Really, what you just got to understand is start moving in that direction. When you don't react, when you step outside the situation, no matter what's happening in your life, and become the observer, become that silent observer, then you get to respond. And how do you respond? With love and grace, no matter what it is. Imagine if you did that. Think about what the outcomes would be in everything if you just stepped back before you reacted on that stuck emotion that's in your body, right? Those negative emotions, right? Because you've learned them, because your brain has wired those together, right? They fired and wired. And just imagine, right? If you step back and you observe and respond with love and grace, just make that your default mode. No matter what. You go, no, I can't do that. They deserve it. I got to be right. Well, that's what the ego is saying. That's what keeps you. It's not trying to prove you're right. Would you rather feel good or be right? Would you rather be happy or would you be right? Would you rather be that joy and grace that you really are or be right? Right? Because that right there's a cost to that. And the cost is your well-being. The cost is your love and your grace. Are you willing to pay that cost to be right? So guys, and who's to say who's right and who's wrong? What's good and what's bad? This is all duality. This is all made up. These are all opinions. You can't even get two people to agree on anything. So guys, let all that go, right? Don't ignore, repress, bury negative emotion. Bring it up. Let it come up. Bring it into your awareness. When you bring it into that awareness, it loses its power. Then, once you start responding with love and grace, you start rewiring and refiring those neurons, those cells, and you start creating a new you. This is what Joe Dispenza talks about, right? It's living in more of those high-level emotions of joy, of grace, of gratitude. Wow, the big G word. Gratitude, living in these high-level emotions. And when you're not there, knowing that it's uncomfortable when you're not there. It's uncomfortable not to love. You guys know it. You admit it, right? It's uncomfortable when you're not grateful and when you're not joyful and you're not the grace of who you are. It's not comfortable. You get used to it. Yes, your body has gotten used to it and you're reacting the same way. You're living in the past. Guys, you want to be in the past or you want to be in the new you, the new future? Remember the rules of quantum physics that these protons and neutrons and electrons are coming in and out of existence. They are waves until you collapse that wave of probability. You collapse it into an actual physical thing. And you do that by limiting yourself. You do that by acting negative. If you keep open to love and grace and joy, and then you're open to creation. You're infinite. You can be anything. You can collapse those electrons into anything that you want in your life. But we keep living in the past, so we keep creating and recreating the same circumstances. Yeah. So guys, that's what I wanted to do. Choose again. Once you get to choose again always, right? The past, leave it in the past. Let the dead bury the dead. This is what Jesus said, right? Guys, the past is gone. It's really imagined now. And the future is imagined as well. So neither the future or the past exist. So that's good news because you can invent the future. You can imagine and create the future that you want, right? Leave the past behind you. There is no past. There's only now. And this is where your power is, guys. That's what I wanted to talk about today. I'll leave a link below for Joe Dispenza's book, of course. This is how you unlearn everything you're not and relearn everything you are. What are you? You are that love. You are that grace. You are whole and unlimited. Just by your birthright, just for who you are, before birth and after birth, right? You are you never end, right? You are eternal. You are forevermore. Imagine the power if you could just step into that and step out of this, out of the reactionary mode of life and leaving the past behind, leaving the guilt, the shame, the regret, the arguments, the whatever it was. It's not real. It's only in your thoughts, right? And the thoughts are those ego creations, right? You are not your thoughts. So let those go, guys. Remember, most of what you think is not even true. It's a tainted perception that's coming through your projector, right? But the screen, the canvas is clean, and you can create anything you want on it. Yeah? We'll talk more about this, guys. This is Tom Karen with the Be Something Wonderful studio of Higher Consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself, but you already are it. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification button, guys, and comment and share the videos. That's how we get our message out. This is Tom with great love. Until next time.